Hello everyone! Right, so time for another drawing room session. Right, now then. Oh yeah, that's appropriate. I've just seen the EMAs turned up in the logo, and that's what I've got on the old slideshow, which I've not checked. Hang on, let's just make sure everything's as it should be. Yep. So yeah, there it is. That's look, it matches. It's the same one. Is that going to change? Yeah, yeah. That was completely by coincidence. That same image. Let's enlarge that a bit. So this is a drawing that I did several months ago, and this is one that Kitsuli did. Oh, once again, Kitsuli had a go at drawing one of my characters, and it's brilliant. I really love this. It's a little masterpiece, that, and really appreciate that. So that's it. That's all I have to show. This time around, there's not been a lot to start off with, but yeah, I suppose should I just get right into it? I think that's all. Because I'm going to draw one of Kitsuli's characters today, because I don't think I haven't really done that, at least not an awful lot. I've not so anyway, this is Claire Kitty, and one thing about the character is I sometimes forget certain details, because there are quite a lot of, like, she wears a lot of jewellery, so I have to make sure I've got the earrings and the necklace and bracelets. And also, because if you remember when I drew a picture of Peggy last week, I kind of forgot that Peggy had a star on her cheek, and I almost forgot to draw that. So and Claire has a star painted over her eye. In fact, because the reason I wanted to draw her from this side is because this is the side of her face that has the star. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think to make sure that I don't forget to do that this time, because it's the kind of thing that I'm likely to forget, I'm going to paint it onto a new layer. I'm going to keep that layer on there so that I don't forget. Once again, this is a bit of a high resolution drawing, so it might take a bit of time. It might eat up a bit of the energy. It is a bit distorted because she's kind of screwing up her eyes there. So. I seem to have made it the smoothest looking thing. Hey, Kitsuli, she's here in the chat, rocking out. Oh, fantastic! Thanks for joining us. So yeah, I'll zoom out. This is the sketch that I've started off with. It's a bit slow at the moment, and I wanted to do the star shape because I want to make sure I don't forget it. Are you on mobile? Okay. Are you going to switch to computer? Okay, cool. That's lovely. I hope you can hear me all right. I did a little sound check at the beginning. So I'm not running too many things, am I? Hold on a second. One thing I'm just going to do is just check the website. Ah, good. You can hear me. That's good to know. We are live. We are definitely live. Yeah, I'm just checking the website. Okay, I'll close that window. Don't know if that will make a difference. Yeah, because one thing I tend to find is when I'm streaming, my computer slows down a little bit, and the lines tend to be a lot more bumpy when I'm doing a stream. So I will do my best. Yeah, me and Kitsuli have been creating lots of new characters because the idea is this is for Femme Fatale. It's Fatale, isn't it? Yeah. And so Claire is the lead singer of this band, and we've been doing things like we've got a Twitter for the band now, and I've kind of had a go at doing artwork, like there was one of Claire taking a picture of herself. That's on the Twitter, and it's also on my DeviantArt. And one thing I don't think I've, oh yeah, because this was what I was working on in December, because I did a live stream in which I sort of started off the Christmas Femme Fatale album cover, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm thinking about ideas for other kinds of cover artwork. Yeah, the selfie. Yeah. Yeah, she was very pleased. She was proud of that selfie. She wanted to share the world with her. But yeah, I want to do some more images that could be like their album covers. We've got a lot of ideas for like this kind of world they're living in, and like all of their relatives. Hashtag no filter. You know something? Here's a bit of trivia. Felt cute. Might delete later. I don't know. Yeah. When I first posted that picture of Claire, I suddenly noticed I'd completely forgotten to draw her eyeliner and the star shape. And I was like, oh no, because I just posted it and it had just gone public. So I very quickly deleted it and went back and added the makeup. So yeah, that was a bit of a scary moment. So basically it was Claire's second attempt at a selfie. She didn't want the world to see her without her makeup. So you can probably tell I don't have a screen tablet. I do have to keep redoing those lines. Let's just see how that looks like. It's not bad. Love the characters, the background on the frame. Oh yeah, I believe that's Matilda the Rich Hedgehog. That was from one of my name, adjective, animal pieces. And the other one's Officer Ema. We've seen a few of those because I forget that I put that. Yeah. That's right. She's a very, very push lady. Yeah, of course. I really want to try and do like a comic of Ema and tell her story. There's quite a lot that can be done with that character. Just gonna try and make sure this looks right. So yeah, usually I try and get all the lines done in the first half hour of the stream. I mean, there's quite a lot to do here, so I might go on a bit longer than usual. I don't know. But yeah, I suppose it tends to take longer to do the colouring. That takes a while. But I'll see what I can do. Yeah, this is Autodesk. Yeah, it is pretty good. You don't get an awful lot of tools, but like I said, I think I've actually said this quite a lot on these live streams that it's nice to not have too much, because it just sort of forces you to be more creative and work out ways of improving. You think more about how you're improving. I think like doing sketching like this gets me to think more about how I'm going to do the shading. Yeah, the colouring does take a long time. It's a long process. I mean, like, 'cause I'm not really much of a colourist. I mean, I'm getting better at it. I think I was certainly guilty of using very, very saturated colours in my webcomic. If you look at Beluga Weekly, especially the early ones, I was always using bright colours. I think I even joked about it. I did one that was like, it was all a joke about all these bright colours that I was using. But yeah, that's just the sort of thing that I was a fan of. I liked everything to be bright and colourful. I think maybe my taste had probably changed. I think I prefer less saturated colours these days, I think. Yeah, it's the style. You're right. And I think because if I get too comfortable with something, then I I kind of neglect like the sort of other things that I could be trying, because I think I didn't realise how much I'd enjoy using less saturated colours, but I don't know. Yeah, bright colours and dark background. Yeah, that is nice. I agree with you there. Yeah, I don't know which I like better. I think it does depend. It depends on what you're going for. Because with these guys, we're gonna be using lots of bright colours because they are a colourful band. When I coloured in Peggy for the first time, I just remember thinking she looks a bit sort of very sort of hair metal, but we are sort of trying to make more of a glam rock band, and it's sort of very 80s. So I was just thinking what looks 80s, and that's why I gave her that purple top with like the sort of magenta shirt. Is that magenta? It's sort of a dark pink. And the greens, she has very bright green colours, like the eyeliner. Yeah, our 80s gals. Absolutely. Well, I was going to ask, is our like this world that we've created, is it like set in the 80s, or are they just very into 80s stuff, do you think? Because the fact that they've got a Twitter, and I even like did these Spotify playlists, so it's almost like they kind of have one foot in the past and one foot in the present. So I don't know, because that's one of the things we haven't really discussed is this like a period piece or something? You love everyone's colours, that's good. Either one, yeah. Yeah, well, it doesn't, yeah. So yeah, I'm sort of going for they could be stuck in the 80s. Even though they're pretty young, and older folks are like, you didn't grow up in the 80s. I think it's an interesting idea. Like, it's making them a glam rock band. I think you can have a lot of fun with that. And they come from New York. I love that, and I've still not been able to come up with any other names for cities, because we were trying to come up with more. I said let's come up with some ideas for cities that are sort of like puns with like animal stuff, and I couldn't think of any. I was like, what do I was just racking my brain, and I couldn't think of any names. Yeah, this is probably going to take a bit longer, but it's okay. I don't mind if you don't mind. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, so Julie's just gone to the pet store. I should still be here when she's. Okay, she's gonna be about 10 minutes. That's cool. I think she's picked a good time because there's not going to be a lot going on. Get to the interesting stuff later. Okay, I think I'm ready to start colouring. So let's blend that into. Ah, she's back. Sorry, I was in a bit of a zone there. I'm making coffee. That's nice. I just had a coffee. In fact, I used one of your mugs. I used the Doctor Who one that I got. That was from Kitsuli's Redbubble store. I think I showed everyone the mug in the last stream I did. Yeah, it's true. I've got your picture of Claire to get the right colours. Claire's going to love all this work of her, yeah. I was saying, I think she and Peggy are probably going to get competitive about this, so they're keeping scores of how much fan art they get. Yeah, personalities and backstories. Yeah. As I say, I think that's it's a lot of fun. Coming up with, we've got some really interesting characters here. What do I use to record the screen? This is OBS. I can actually show you, like, if I switch to studio mode, you can get an idea of how it works. It's free to download, just look up OBS. So over here I have all the scenes. So that's my camera. Can you still hear me? Well, I suppose even if it is switching, then wait. If I go to the test card, can you still hear me now? Because I'm using that one. I'm making it look a bit complicated, but yeah. So that's the countdown screen that I started off with. This is for technical difficulties if something goes wrong. So yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's worth learning how to. And I just like how I can dress it up and all of these bits and bobs in the background. It's a fun thing to do. I find that my one does crash quite a bit. You kind of have to, because like there's an audio mixer that's quite a handy thing to have, but I found that when I run it, it makes the whole software a little bit less stable. But I don't know if anyone else has had the same problem. It might just be me. It's got a really old machine. But for the most part, it's brilliant. I really like it. That's another software that I found has just helped me to get really creative and do all kinds of things. You should definitely try a stream. I'd love to see that. See your process. I mean, like, because you could do obviously things like this. You could do art casts, but you can also do podcasts. You can do gaming streams, all sorts of things. Has everything you need, really. What's that emoji meant to be? I can't quite tell. Looks like a robot face. It turned into a robot. Oh, that's really groovy. Is that what all the Twitch emojis look like? Because I'm not really. Oh, what have we there? Oh, there's a couple of trolls. Oh, that's adorable. Oh. The little chat side. Oh, there's a Minecraft one there. I'm enjoying all of these little emojis. Is that Nicolas Cage at the far right? Oh, Bob Ross. Yeah. We don't make mistakes, we make happy little accidents. I'm thinking of just filling that bit with pink, just to sort of have some implied hair. Maybe darken it a bit, I think. And I think in the background we're going to paint some happy little mountains and happy little trees. I introduced my dad to Bob Ross, and I'm glad that I did, because for my birthday we went to see Ralph Breaks the Internet, and there's a little Bob Ross reference in that film. So my dad thought that was really funny, because he knew about. Because I think a lot of people over here have never heard of Bob Ross. I mean, because like Netflix has got some like compilation shows that you can watch. So I think he's getting a bit more of a following over here. Oh, I hope I didn't spoil anything, because I won't tell you any more of what's in the film. bracelets. I'm thinking maybe I'll go and see Into the Spider-Verse this week if we get the chance. I still haven't seen that. Yeah, I will, yeah. There's always something in the Marvel movies at the end. Yeah. I'm not sure what I would do for a spider sonar. I don't know what I would be. I'll come up with something. And make that a bit more pink, I think. It looks quite red. Yeah, let's get that one up. I just looked up my favourite spider and based it on that. Yeah, I don't know what my favourite spider is though. But I really liked yours. I thought that both of them were really cool. Yeah, the peacock spider, yeah. Ones that dance and are colourful. And two species in Australia, called Sparkle Muffin and Skeletorus. That's where mine came from. Yeah, they're really cool. And that's the thing, I now just, I don't know what I would do. Because I have, because what I find is quite interesting is that I've had a few house spiders, because over here we don't get many large spiders, or like anything that, you know, but there are these big house spiders that tend to come in around this time of year, well, when it gets cold, and yeah, I found a few of those in my flat recently, and they're interesting. They do have quite they're a bit of character to them, I think, so I'd probably go with something like that, just like a house spider sonar. A spider sonar that plays video games and just lays about. Big orb spiders, ooh. Because there was one spider that made a home, like he actually appeared in one of my live streams, because when I did my camera piece at the start, he was up on my wall. So I was like, yeah, he's going to be watching me draw this week. And then he disappeared, and a little while later another one, a very similar looking spider, showed up. But this one behaved differently, because he didn't just stay on the wall and just kind of keep still. This one crawled around the floor a lot. You know, it seemed to prefer being on the floor. So it's interesting how, because I'm pretty sure they're the same breed, but they behave very differently. They all seem to have their own personalities. And they call them house spiders because if you put them outside, they die. Apparently, they can't survive outdoors. That's probably common knowledge, but I didn't know that until quite recently, and I felt quite guilty because sometimes I put them outside. I'm a little bit scared. I don't like it when they when I find them in my bedroom. So I do tend to take them out of my bedroom if they're in there. Make them pay your rent. That's always, yeah. There comes a point where you think, this spider's been around for quite a while. I think he should be contributing in some way. On your face while sleeping. Oh no. Yes, they like open mouths. Apparently, they like to crawl into people's open mouths as they snore. Oh, that's something. This is something that can happen with sketchbooks. Sometimes you get these lines, like if you're not careful, that's like an accidental scribble. I don't always notice them. Yes, I think because I'm almost done putting the colours in, and I'll do the shading, and then head of that. Yeah, that we swallow spiders as we sleep. My sister made a good point though, because I think her husband was a bit worried that one of those big spiders would crawl into his mouth, and she was like, I think when they say they crawl into our mouths, they're probably not the big ones. They're probably like the really tiny ones. They're the ones that are more likely to do that, because we could have several of those on our face and not really notice. They could be really tiny little spiders. You never really know. It's probably not. So it's just a belt and the microphone. Oh, and I might have to do the sparkly effects on the top. Yeah. I love her colours, all mermaidish. Yeah, that's great. I like that. I had this idea that her bedroom could have one of those seashell beds, like the sort of clam beds. It could be like a mermaid themed bedroom. Mercat, yeah. Oh, are you going to be taking part in Mermay this year? That art challenge? I tend to get involved with that. You would love to have one of those mermaid blankets. Yeah, I know the ones you mean. I haven't heard of that channel. Alright, it was Tom Bancroft that came up with that. And it's been going for a few years. It's every day in May, people draw mermaid characters, basically. I did a whole series of videos on my YouTube channel last May. I didn't actually quite manage to get to the end because I had some troubles with my broadband. This is a bit annoying, but it's a lot of fun. I recommend. Perhaps we could collaborate on that. wanna rock. I sound like a Muppet when I try to sing. Yes, I try a new mermaid character every day. I mean, because I don't really have that much imagination, so I tend to go back to some of the same ones and to reuse them. Don't know. I wonder what she's singing. Well, there is a song, and this was on one of the playlists that I made. You know, have you heard Neil Young's "Rocking in a New World"? No, "Rocking in a Free World." Because that is a song that I kept hearing on the radio at work. And that's actually how I came up with the idea for Rita. I was listening to that song when I came up with, because that's sort of a hair metal type song. Oh, everything okay? Please don't crash, please don't crash. The dreaded rainbow wheel. Well, it's stopped now, so that's good. I shall save that, because I do not save my work frequently enough. Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Okay, don't panic. How did I do that? We went a bit avant-garde there. Keep on rocking in a free world. Oh, I forgot about the brown on her ear. Okay, so I'm almost ready to start shading. One dream, one soul, one prize, one goal, one goal. Whoa, sorry. What should be one shaft of light that shows the way? No man can win this day. Now here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to copy the lines. Yes, I do want to see. That's what I was trying to do. See that somewhere else. Do. Is this a kind of magic? There can be only one. This rage that lasts 1,000 years will soon it out. And here's what I do. That's how I work out how to shade it. I don't know if anybody else does it this way, but this is my preferred method. Let's cover the whole thing. It's lagging a bit. Hang on. So this is going to be the shadow layer. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a backup of that layer. And really, all it is just a question of taking the eraser and just taking off parts of the shadow. Just revealing. Usually for the bracelets and for shiny objects, just get rid of all of the shadow. Because it's sort of using different thing, like that little glint. I think it works better if there's no shading on it at all. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just decided, because when I used to shade using Photoshop, I didn't really try to. I would just completely cheat by using the bevel and emboss option. I mean, that's the problem with that, is you can't really rely on it to do it properly. But I was always just too lazy to work it out myself. I mean, that's one of the great things about moving away from Photoshop, is I've found myself trying out more, like, just other ways of doing things like that. Because Photoshop is brilliant. I do think it's a great. It's, I really enjoyed using it. It's got so many possibilities. But I think once you know how to use that, it's always worth having a go at software like this, because I just found that I've been improving a lot quicker by using this software. So yeah, I can filter soft light. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, because at the moment I've just gone over it in black, so if I turn the opacity up, it's a black image. But I tend to, like, depending on what sort of surroundings the image has, I tend to change the colour to sort of match up with that. Now it's gone a bit dry. I need to wet my whistle at some point. I'm rushing it a bit. I'm not going to. I found knotted up today, but in the most exquisite way, like nectar's over like macaroni, Zeppelin bands. If you were there, I would know too. With a home that never ends. Count the 50 red buttons of blue. Let's see, that sort of. Does that work? I suppose that would cause a bit of a. No, wait. Okay, I think I'm almost there. Oh, whoa! Okay, I think that works. Because I really should start wrapping it up now. I've got to. Right, what I'm going to do now is copy it to the Instagram layout. Oh, I'll just tidy this up a bit. Pure beauty. Oh, thank you. I'm going to recommend people check out Kitsuli's work because she does some really beautiful art. And you're also a voice actor, aren't you? Because that's something coming up with the Beluga Tunes podcast. We did some special things like little jingles to go in between the segments, and that's going to be really good when I get back to doing that. Yeah, it's going to be great, isn't it? Yeah, so here's what I do at this point, at this part of each stream. Open up this template, So once again, I've got to remember to save it as another file. One of the interesting things about Sketchbook is when you save a PSD as a JPEG, which I'm doing now, it says this: for this image format, all layers will be merged. But what's quite cool is that you can still edit the layers before you close it. It's only when you close it that it flattens the image. So I can still strip back the layers of this JPEG before I flatten it. Oh, when does that come out? The podcast? Well, I've got to record it first. I've got to record a new episode, and yeah, because I was going to do it over the previous week, but I didn't get around to it, mostly because of that OC challenge that we've been doing, and so it's really just whenever I can. You're downloading OBS? Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so because I'm determined to get that all sorted. I will get a new episode out at some point. Oh yeah, I commissioned Kitsuli to draw a picture of Becca Bunny from Femme Fatale. Yeah, and I mean you do that whenever it's convenient. It's fine. So that's what the new end screen is going to look like. I'll switch back to camera. Okay. So. Thanks for joining in with this, Kitsuli. I wanted to show this to you. I had a go at drawing Rorette, the flea character. Ooh. Can you see that all right? This is one of Kitsuli's characters. Yeah. And it's from the Tangled Web library, isn't it? Yeah, the one with Madame Eerie, because I've already drawn her. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, by the way, I'm reading off my TV screen because I've set up my Chromecast to display the chat, so that way I can look over there to see what's going on in the chat, and I can do all my work here on the laptop. Oh, the name is still in progress. Okay, kinda. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I really like those characters. There's Eerie, Dulv, and Rorette. Right, yeah. Notice all their names are backwards. Alright. Yeah. Clever. Yeah, because I did wonder why you spelled Eerie like that. That's really clever. Right, so the title is a work in progress. But I like it. I like Tangled Web Library. I think that's really good. Yeah, we could just carry on chatting like this. This is good. Yeah, there's the that's the mug that I've been drinking out of. The Doctor. Again, Kitsuli's design. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think we're done. I think we're going to call it a day. So yeah, thanks you for joining in, and anyone. See, I don't know how many people are watching right now. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, and I will see all of you next week at the same time. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you later.